A very good evening and a very warm welcome to State of Business on our television. I am Savindri Jayawardena. Let's look at the top stories for the day. Sri Lanka rupee marked slightly elevated against US dollar during the day. Female migrant workers should be trained systematically. Justice Minister stresses. News in detail. Sri Lanka's rupee quoted slightly firmer between 199 rupees and 50 cents to 200 rupees and 50 cents levels to the US dollar in 1 week forward market today. However, just 24 hours before, the rupee hit a new low between 202 rupees to 203 rupees while the bond yields remain unchanged. Sri Lanka has placed surrender requirements for exporters and remittances. A dollar surrender is an intervention by the central bank against the exchange rate peg, which already is weak, adding new liquidity and taking dollars away from the market. The rupee last closed in the 1 week forward market at 202 to 203 to the US dollar on Wednesday, and the spot next closed at 200 rupees and 75 cents to the US dollar. With the dollar yield higher than the rupee yield amid money printing, forward premiums have inverted. Regular participants at the market said that spot was as much as 400 basis points negative. Dealers also added that in the secondary market, bond yields remain unchanged on dull market trade. When the currency comes under pressure, spot trading usually stops and trading takes place in the short term forward market in the spot next or for settlement in a week. Dealers also added that deals were done around 202 rupees and 50 cents intraday in the 1 week market, and the dollar liquidity was tight for smaller banks. Minister of Justice Ali Sabri stated that he expects all the female migrant workers should be well trained, registered at the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau, along with an insurance cover to build up a proper setup in the female migrant labour force. This rationale was outlined by Justice Minister at the Advocata Institute's panel discussion on gender discriminatory labour laws in Sri Lanka, which took place in Colombo recently.
We need to have a proper setup in those countries with our labour ministries coming in, where we charge a particular amount of money through the SLBFE in order to look after their interests there. So you need to continue to work for their benefits and all those things. So personally, if you ask me, I don't like our women going as domestic servants to those countries, or any country for that matter, unless they are trained. You know, sometimes they just expose them. They are not trained to face that kind of a situation, and as a result of it, the sponsors who spend exorbitant amount of money to get them in get very disappointed, because these poor women can't deliver of what their demands are. So that is why, rather than laws, the practical ground realities is that one is that they have to undergo the training. Second one is they have to get registered through the SLBFE. Third one is they need to get that insurance policy.
Justice Minister Ali Sabri also stated that National Children Protection Authority works hard looking for the measures in order to fight against the surging number of child abuse cases day by day. The Justice Minister said that 5 subcommittees have already been set up to build new laws on child abuse cases, that those will be in operation soon.
As far as the laws relating to the child and pedophiles and all those things, yes, that's a huge concern for us, how the child abuse issue is, it's going out of control. Whatever we do, there are more events which take place on almost on every day. But I can tell you that NCPA, the current team, is working very hard. And in fact, 3 weeks ago also, I had a discussion with them as start from probably orphanages and where these kids have been taken care of, at least to link them online to a Colombo main office and have a 24/7 kind of a observation through CCTV cameras and all those things. Laws, definitely we are looking at it. 5 laws have been, 5 subcommittees have been established, and they are looking at those laws, and probably we should be able to enact those within the course of this year, as far as the laws are concerned. But once again, I must tell you, it's not the laws, because you can punish and all those things, but we must prevent it.
Stay tuned for more news right after this break. Welcome back after the break. The media briefing on an International Children and Youth Book Fair, which will be held in June 2021, was held yesterday at the German Cultural Center, emphasizing the value of reading. The International Book Fair will be held from 19 to 26 June 2021 at the Public Library premises, Colombo. The event is organized by Sri Lanka Board on Books for Young People, partnered with Goethe Institute. The book fair will introduce both local and international publishers that conform to high standards of writing and publishing in the intention of re-establishing and enhancing the reading habits of children in our country. The show will be covered up by various activities such as art festivals, drama, dance, music, and much more.
We as Goethe Institute, the German Cultural Institute, are extremely delighted to be able to support this important endeavor from the beginning. Hermann Hesse, the well-known Swiss-German writer and Nobel Prize winner, once said, "From all the worlds that humankind has created out of its own spirit, the world of books is the greatest." The world of books, and this is what this is about: imagination, fantasy, storytelling, identification with role models, dreaming, intellectual inspiration, dealing with emotions. All that will prepare children for life, but not in a boring way.
Former Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake and 8 others were remanded yesterday till 23rd of this month in connection with the bond fraud case being heard in the Special High Court. The accused are indicted under the Penal Code, Public Properties Act, as well as the Registered Stock and Securities Ordinance. Former Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake and 7 other suspects were remanded till 23rd March yesterday by the High Court trial at bar over the 2016 Central Bank bond scam. The judges of the trial at bar were High Court judges Damit Totavatta, Manjula Tilakaratne and Mohammad Irshadeen. While lawyers for the accused requested bail for their client, Senior Deputy Solicitor General Haripriya Jayasundara, appearing for the Attorney General, objected to bail. The court then ordered that the suspects be remanded in custody till the 23rd of March. Last morning, the Attorney General filed indictments against the 8 accused for their role in the CB bond auctions between 29th and 31st March 2016. In addition to Karunanayake, the other suspects include former CB Governor Arjuna Mahendran and Arjun Aloysius of Perpetual Treasuries. The accused are indicted under the Penal Code, Public Properties Act, as well as the Registered Stock and Securities Ordinance, and face charges including criminal misappropriation and insider trading. Colombo Fort Magistrate yesterday ordered to remand all 4 directors of the failed finance company Edrisingha Trust Investment Finance Limited for the charges of money laundering, criminal breach of trust and criminal misappropriation. The suspects were arrested by the CID officials yesterday and they were remanded till the 30th of March. As per instructions by the Fort Magistrate Court, CID arrested the former board of directors of ETI Finance Limited, Jeevaka Edirisinghe, Nalaka Edirisinghe, Asanka Edirisinghe and Anjali Edirisinghe. They have been charged for financial irregularities amounting to 13.7 billion rupees. The Senior Deputy Solicitor General also stated that ETI Finance Limited has been making black money from depositors' money since 2011 by maintaining undisclosed accounts that are not subject to central bank regulation. The Central Bank of Sri Lanka suspended the business of Swarna Mahal Financial Services plc and ETI Finance Limited last year as the two institutions went bankrupt due to various irregularities that had been going on since 2011. A presidential commission of inquiry was appointed to look into the alleged irregularities and malpractices in connection with ETI Finance Limited last year, while the president instructed the relevant departments to take necessary action according to the recommendations of the commission. Accordingly, the Attorney General Dapla de Oliveira instructed the CID to arrest the former directors initially in January 2021, resulting in several arrests over the time. ETI's assets included Swarna Mahal Financial Services plc, EAP Broadcasting Company Limited with its subsidiaries EAP Films and Theatres Limited, Hotel Sapphire Limited, Swarna Mahal Jewellers Limited and other immovable assets owned by ETI Finance plc. Stay tuned for more news right after this break. Welcome back after the break. Trading at Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a negative note today. The all-share price index dropped 113.8 points to close at 6,930.76 and the S&P SL20 dropped 42.14 points to close at 2,774.78. The turnover was 1.2 billion rupees and over 65 million shares were traded. Up next are Forex rates. And that's all news for today. See you tomorrow with State of Business at the usual time. Until then, take care and good night.